Still just puts me in shock because out here in like Thousand Oaks, this Ventura County area, it's our safe haven. You know, nothing like this happened.
A gunman opens fire inside a Southern California bar overnight, leaving a dozen people dead. Now friends and parents desperately trying to contact their loved ones.
I am very emotional right now. This is my firstborn son, and it's tough.
We now know the identity of the gunman and details about his run-ins with authorities in the past. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. New details this afternoon in another horrific mass shooting, this time at a crowded bar in Thousand Oaks, California. 12 people were murdered, including a sheriff's deputy. The gunman is also dead. ABC's Natalie Brunell has the latest from the scene in California.
A popular country line dancing bar suddenly erupting in non-stop gunfire.
I just started hearing these big pops, pop, pop, pop. And the gunman was throwing smoke grenades all over the place.
Police say a lone gunman dressed in all black burst in just before 11:30 p.m. local time and began firing into a crowd where over 100 students were gathered for college night at the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks.
He shot the cashier, just a young girl.
We just heard people say run, and we booked it as fast as we could.
We got multiple people down. We need a lot of ambulances.
Terrifying accounts from eyewitnesses painting a chaotic scene. People hiding in bathrooms, smashing windows with bar stools to desperately escape.
So then our friends got the bar stools and they started slamming it against the window so we could get out.
Outside, victims carried by friends and strangers to first responders.
I saw him shoot a couple more times, and within a split second, everyone yelled, "Get down." Everyone pretty much dogpiled on top of each other.
Among those killed, Ventura County Sheriff Sergeant Ron Helis, struck by gunfire as he rushed in to help, a father and 29-year veteran of the force who was planning to retire soon. The gunman later found dead inside the bar.
The suspect was identified as Ian David Long. We believe he shot himself. When the officers went in and made re-entry, they found him already deceased.
That's Natalie Brunell reporting. Another breaking story we're following at noon today. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has fractured 3 ribs after a fall in her office at the Supreme Court. She was admitted to George Washington University Hospital for observation this morning, and according to the Supreme Court Public Information Officer, Ginsburg was in her office at the court when she fell. The 85-year-old has been a justice on the High Court since 1993. Here in the Suncoast, a teacher at Palmetto High School is facing charges after police say he sent inappropriate messages to a minor. Austin Pierce, arrested by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Deputies say he sent inappropriate images to a minor from Orange County. He faces multiple charges, including sexual battery and soliciting a minor. Pierce was an agriculture teacher at Palmetto High. The Manatee County School District says he was fired after that arrest. And for more on the latest breaking news happening here on the Suncoast, along with your First Alert weather forecast, download our apps. You can go to your app store and find them. Just look for WWSB or My Suncoast. Let's get more on our weather right now with meteorologist John Scalzi on a nice Thursday here on the Suncoast.
Absolutely beautiful outside.
Yeah.
It was a very pretty start to the day. A little bit warmer this morning, a few degrees. We have a little bit more moisture in the air to work with. And we had a shower or two around yesterday. One of our weather watchers, Noel Mayaka, reported in with a half-an-inch rainfall yesterday.
Really?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good indeed. As we head into the afternoon, same sort of situation, about a 10% chance of an isolated shower or two. That would be about it. Sarasota Bay Cam put into motion shows a few of those fair weather clouds giving way to sunshine, and that'll be the same case, I think, tomorrow morning. A few low-hanging clouds during the morning hours, followed by some sunshine, followed by fair weather clouds building in the humidity that grows. We'll watch across the East Coast a few scattered showers trying to work their way across, but really I think our rainfall, such as it is, will be homegrown. And really, like I say, 90% of you will not see any rainfall, maybe even more than that, because I don't see showers building near the coastline. It's all going to be east of the interstate. Massive showers moving through Cape San Blas right now. Large complex of storms there. That's all part of a low pressure area that's riding along the stalled frontal boundary to the north, so that rain is not going anywhere. We're remaining high and dry at this hour with temperatures that are again climbing. We'll probably be about the same as we were yesterday, or maybe a degree warmer. We're coming in at 82 at Lakewood Ranch right now. Bradenton the same. 86 degrees in Sarasota. And the day planner shows we'll continue to see the temperatures warmer than average for this time of year. We'll go with about 84 or so by 3 p.m. as the west coast sea breeze picks up once again. And we'll start to watch that chance of rainfall late in the day, mostly in inland areas as we fall into the 70s. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. This past Tuesday night, a majority of voters in Sarasota chose to change the date for city elections. But an interesting fallout is happening with that change. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us now with the details. Ray?
Scott, elections in Sarasota will be moved from the spring to the fall to increase voter turnout. And that means one time only, current commissioners will have their terms automatically lengthened by a year and a half. Elections that would normally be held in March of next year will happen instead in November of 2020, and that gives bonus time to Commissioners Liz Albert, Shelley Freeland Eddy, and Willie Shaw. It would also extend the time for Commissioners Hagan Brody and Jen Ahern Koch until 2022. One political author we talked to said he thought that was presumptuous of commissioners to think citizens would want an extra year and a half of them.
To extend your term is undemocratic. That's not the way they weren't voted in for that extended term. They were voted in for a short. So what they should do is break up the term into the two parts. That would be, to me, spending money on an extra election is the lesser of two evils than having an extended term that people didn't vote for.
We also talked to City Hall taxpayer watchdog Martin Hyde about the extended term of the current commission. He said, keep in mind, this is the same commission that just raised the tax rate. In the next 2 years, they could bankrupt the city. Scott, back to you.
All right, Ray, thank you. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why the most minimally invasive surgery option isn't always the best for cervical cancer patients. And we'll look at a new medical center breaking ground in Englewood today. Be a Heart Walk hero. I'm Scott Dennis. Join ABC 7 and the American Heart Association for the 2018 Suncoast Heart Walk. It's Saturday, November 10th at J.D. Hamill Park. Walk with us to help raise funds to fight heart disease and stroke. Your support will help us advance life-saving breakthroughs that will keep more hearts beating. We can't save lives without your help. Register for free and walk with us to have fun and help hearts. For more information, visit suncoastheartwalk.org.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Our accolades are great. Just wait until you see our prices. Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
86 degrees, the air temperature. Plenty of sunshine out there, a little bit of fair weather cloudiness. We have a dew point value, which has actually dropped just a little bit. It's at 69 right now. It's a little easterly wind, a little bit of drier air starting to work its way in, such that I think that by the time the frontal boundary that we are anticipating arrives here on Saturday, it will probably have not a lot of moisture to work with, and so consequently when it moves through here, I doubt this frontal boundary will bring us much in the way of any kind of rainfall. So we look at temperatures today that are going to be affected by the west coast sea breeze as it begins to form. We'll go with about 84 degrees by 3 p.m. as temperatures maybe fall just a little bit thanks to that westerly flow of air. Right now it's southeast, but it will be turning west very shortly. 75 degrees by 7 p.m. with about a 10% chance of an isolated sprinkle or shower in inland areas. Coast stays quiet. And then as we head into the evening hours, I think we'll be looking at about 70 degrees during the overnight. When you wake up tomorrow morning, radar quiet right now. We do have one little blip on radar over in Highlands County, but I'll tell you that's really not going to bother us at all. It's some of the showers that are trying to work their way over, riding on that southeasterly wind flow from the Atlantic. And they'll tend to just kind of fizzle out as they try to make it across. So we aren't going to see those particular showers get into our forecast area. To the north of us, we have a frontal boundary that continues to remain stalled. It hasn't washed away. It's still there. At least the boundary of winds is still there, and it is helping to produce a few scattered showers and even some thunderstorms around Cape San Blas. Then back to the west, we have an area that's producing snow showers near Wichita. That snow shower activity is part of a low pressure area that will drive a cold front southward, so that this stalled frontal boundary will get a little kick from the arrival of this cold front on probably Friday or so. And then it will push it a little bit further south, clearing our area by Saturday. And while it really won't bring us any decidedly colder air, most of that colder air slides eastward with the low pressure area, it will produce a little bit of drier air and a slightly cooler atmosphere by a couple of degrees. It'll get us back to our average temperature, or even still a little above average by the time we get to Sunday, and especially Sunday, but even Saturday we might see a drop or two in the degree temperature. A little bit of high-level cloudiness streaming by from time to time. Fair weather cloudiness kind of blow off from the cloud activity to the north of us, but even locally I think we'll probably see some of those clouds building in inland areas, particularly as we get the convergence of winds with the sea breeze building. Tropics look good. Nothing here that causes us concern. You can see by the nature of these clouds that they are kind of being sheared apart by upper-level winds, so we're not looking at anything here that shows any kind of signs of development or organization. None of these clouds are talking to each other and forming into any kind of a system that could continue to develop. Gulf water is just about void of any kind of clouds, and the Caribbean as well looks absolutely pristine right now. So all in all, we're looking at a pretty nice condition, tropically speaking. Southwest wind coming in at about 5 turns to the northwest during the evening hours. Light winds all through that period bring just smooth conditions on Bay and inland waters. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful boating weather. The forecast for the week ahead features that frontal boundary moving through. We'll notice it as warm temperatures today and tomorrow. Then we'll notice a little drop in our temperatures on Saturday. That's that front moving through, followed by kind of unsettled weather as that front is kind of stuck down to our south. But Tuesday, good chance of rain as the next front moves through, a more potent front, which could lower our temperatures as much as 10 degrees or more as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe Friday as well of next week. Scott?
John, thank you. When it comes to treating cervical cancer, there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach, but the types of surgery available to individual patients can affect their chances of survival. Mary Maloney shows us how less invasive surgery may be riskier than the open surgery method.
Cervical cancer patients undergoing surgery might be quick to jump to the most minimally invasive option. In fact, nearly 60% of all hysterectomies performed today are done laparoscopically, or are robot-assisted. But 2 new studies published in the New England Journal of Medicine found those type of procedures may increase your likelihood of dying. The radical hysterectomy is a recommended treatment for patients with early-stage cervical cancer. It involves the removal of a woman's uterus, cervix, and other reproductive organs. The first study analyzed this surgery performed both as an open operation and as a minimally invasive procedure. It found that the minimally invasive procedure had a 9.1% risk of death. The open procedure had a 5.3% risk. A second study showed patients who underwent minimally invasive surgeries were 4 times more likely to have cancer recurrence than those who had open surgeries. The researchers aren't quite sure why the minimally invasive operation is more unsafe, but they think it may have something to do with the carbon dioxide gas blown into the stomach cavity during surgery in order to inflate it and help doctors see. If you had minimally invasive surgery for cervical cancer over 2 years ago and have not had a recurrence, researchers say you probably shouldn't worry. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
One of Southwest Florida's largest independent medical practices is breaking ground on a new medical center in Englewood today. Millennium Physician Group's new $6 million facility will offer primary care services to more than 250 patients a day. That center expected to open its doors by the end of next summer. Let's head over to the kitchen now and say hello to our guest today, Chef Allison from Peak Performance Catering. Allison, great to see you again in our kitchen. What are you fixing for us today for lunch?
Well, I'm getting us in the mood for the holidays, so I've got some cider here reducing. We're going to make a cider mapled sweet potatoes, and we're going to make some spinach cake. So a little something for the sides, getting ready for your Thanksgiving dinner.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
There are lots of people who are confused about which Medicare plan is right for them.
Hey, that's me. I barely know where to start.
Well, start here with me, Karen. I'm a licensed Humana sales agent.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Karen. I'm John Smith.
Hi, John. At Humana, we know you're unique, so you have different needs from other John Smiths.
Yeah, I've always thought so.
And together, we can find a plan that's right for you.
Great. I go to the doctor a couple of times a year, and I have some prescriptions, but I'm never fully sure of what's covered and what's not.
With Humana's all-in-one Medicare Advantage plans, you get coverage for hospital stays, doctor visits, and Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable and sometimes no monthly plan premium.
Do you have any more information?
Sure. I'll get a decision guide in the mail to you today. They're free.
Finally, someone who understands the real me.
Your health and happiness is important to us. Call or go online now to get your free decision guide. Call a licensed Humana sales agent today.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC 7.
The American Heart Association expects more than 1,500 people at Saturday's Suncoast Heart Walk, all of them standing up to heart disease and stroke and raising money to help those affected by cardiovascular disease and stroke. Joining us today to talk more about the Heart Walk is the event's chair, Venice Regional Bayfront Health Project CEO Bob Moore. Bob, thanks so much for being with us today. We appreciate it. Now, you know firsthand the devastating effects of heart disease and stroke. I'm sure you see it every day in your hospital. We're talking about heart disease is the #1 killer in our country.
Correct. Heart disease, #1 killer, stroke, number 5, and also the greatest cause of disability. We see it every day, and in our community where we have a lot of older people living here, you know, it's every day within the ER, the heart attacks, the strokes, and many of these are preventable.
And Bob, I know this is personal for you and your family as well.
Yeah, I have a family history of heart disease. That's why I got involved with the American Heart Association many years ago. My grandmother died in her chair of a massive heart attack, and my dad, her son, 10 years ago, had some arm pain and didn't do anything about it and had a massive heart attack, but he survived, triple bypass. A lot of things today are different than they were back then.
They sure are. Well, the Heart Walk raises thousands of dollars, and those advantages can be really linked to this in raising money for research and programs that offer support. Tell us more about where all this money goes.
Well, the money goes, as you said, for research, but a lot of it goes for education also on healthy living, on lifestyle changes, and also educating people on CPR and other life-saving events. We also use it, as you said, for the research to find new modalities, and you know, hopefully someday we're going to prevent this deadly disease.
Well, we have an exciting new location for the Heart Walk this year, and there are no hurricanes anywhere, which is another great thing because that affected last year's Heart Walk. But I think people are going to really love this new spot. Tell us about it.
Well, this year we're moving to J.D. Hamel Park, beautiful venue, looking over the water, looking toward the islands, and it'll just be a great event downtown on Saturday morning. Moving it from where we were going to have it last year, but the Hurricane Irma got in the way. It'll be a great event. We're expecting about 1,500 walkers and hoping to raise a lot of money. We're almost at 150,000 right now, with a lot more coming in, and that money, as we talked on research and education, can go a long way to stopping this disease.
Absolutely. Well, the Suncoast Heart Walk happens this Saturday, as Bob mentioned, at J.D. Hamel Park in downtown Sarasota, just across US 41 from the Bayfront. The program begins around 8 o'clock with the walk to get underway shortly afterward. You can register to walk or find out more information at suncoastheartwalk.org. Bob, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you out there on Saturday.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay. Time now to get back to the kitchen and check in with John, who's with our guest today, Chef Allison from Peak Performance Catering. John?
Indeed. Always a pleasure having Chef Allison in the kitchen, always cooking up something tasty. And I know today you're going to concentrate on sides for Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, we want something a little different.
Yeah.
So I have purple and sweet potatoes. These sweet potatoes are actually from my yard. And we're going to do a maple glazed with cider. So cider has been reduced. We're going to add
cider?
Apple cider, just regular apple cider. I add a little bit of butter because we're going to put this in the oven and it's going to become a little glaze for the sweet potatoes.
Oh, what'd you pour in there?
So that's my maple syrup.
Oh, okay.
So then this is just going to melt down. I already reduced the cider, so you can take a gallon of cider, reduce it for about 20-30 minutes.
And that takes it down to what volume? From a gallon to?
Yeah, like a couple cups. Like
oh,
a
really?
Cup. Yeah,
okay,
you want to
so
reduce
really
it because you're really looking for that flavor. And then we're going to pour this over the potatoes. Isn't it beautiful color?
Ooh,
and then you're going to bake that for about 30 minutes, and it's going to be nice and glazed.
Okay.
Over here, I have my spinach. I have some baby spinach. We're going to make spinach cake. So I've got some olive oil going. I'm going to make a little one so that we can see all the spinach cooked down, because this big bowl of spinach cooks down to about nothing. Right? Quick. Have you ever done that? You buy a couple bags and you're like, uh-oh.
What am I going to do with all this spinach? And then you can barely feed yourself with me.
So we've got some onions that I small dice here. I have my garlic, because you always got to have a little garlic for flavor. All right, so then this cooks for a few minutes and we get the onions translucent. I have my little salt and pepper here, and a little cayenne and nutmeg. And then you're going to put the spinach all in here. And I'm not going to use all of it right now, but obviously the recipe is on the website.
Okay.
So this reduces down.
About 2 minutes left.
Okay. And then once that's going, we also have in the spinach cake, I have my panko crumbs, I have quinoa. So I'm adding a little quinoa and I'm adding some golden raisins. The great thing about this is if you need to make it gluten-free, you can use gluten-free breadcrumbs because we are making a spinach cake, so we need something to hold it together. And also the egg.
Your quinoa, that looks like it's cooked. Is that cooked?
I cooked the quinoa up ahead, yeah.
All right.
So once this, oh, we got spinach flying all over the place. So this cooks down. All right, so you see, because it's TV, this is what we're gonna come up with.
Okay, so you've taken this after it's cooked down, added all of those ingredients,
and then I form my cake. And then we're going to just pan fry them.
Okay.
So, we're gonna cool this down. We drain the water out of it. Then I'm adding the quinoa, the panko, some golden raisins, and the egg, which holds it together. Nice. And then you form your little patties. And then you're gonna brown them. We can do this up ahead also, and then finish them off in the oven on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. So this
you're
way,
just looking to crisp them up here?
Right, I want to get a little bit of color on both sides.
Okay.
All right,
So that's what, like maybe 2 minutes on each side, something like that?
Yeah, you want to go on a medium-high heat. See how this moved? Done. We just want to wilt that spinach. I'm going to shut that off.
Okay. About
Whip
30
this
seconds
into
left.
a pan.
So we should mention that after you've combined all those, after you've fried them up, you put them in an oven to finish them off. You say at what temperature?
About 325, and we're just going to warm them through because everything's already cooked.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got the quinoa.
So just 325 for, say...
10 minutes.
10 minutes or something
just
like that.
to heat it through.
And we have the finished product over here for you to look at. Absolutely glorious. Those would be proud sides for any Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep, you can add some walnuts.
The recipe for it is on our website, mysuncoast.com. If you go on there and click on the view link, it will take you right to all of the recipes, including our recipes. Allison, it looks absolutely fantastic.
See, we took it a little bit longer, but yes.
I see what you got going on there, and we can take a look at that final product. There it is. Show you how golden brown the outside of those cakes are, and how luscious those
great way to get your
sweet
greens.
potatoes look. Yeah. By the way, good job on the gardening.
Thank you very much.
Allison, thanks very much. Peak Performance Catering. We'll be right back.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Like ABC7 on Facebook to stay connected to the team you trust.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
He ran in and no doubt saved others from being victimized. As a matter of fact, earlier, a young man that was inside the nightclub came up to me and said, you know what, he saved additional people.
A sheriff's deputy, one of the 12 victims killed overnight in a mass shooting at a bar in Southern California. Why survivors say he died a hero.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. A night of fun in a Southern California town turning to tragedy in a moment. 12 people are dead after a gunman opened fire in a packed bar during college night. Police say the suspected shooter is also dead, and no motive is known at this time. Paul Furcammon is in Thousand Oaks, California.
If you're hearing gunshots fired, one person advising there's a subject inside shooting.
Shortly before midnight in Thousand Oaks, California, a man armed with a gun entered the Borderline Bar and Grill.
473, we got multiple people down. We need a lot of ambulances and fire.
In the hours immediately after the shooting, loved ones desperately seek answers.
I am very emotional right now. This is my firstborn son, and it's tough.
Jason Kaufman doesn't know where his son is.
Cody is a tough kid. What I'm scared of is Cody went towards the action and not away from the action.
The bar was hosting a college country night and it was packed with college students.
So then our friends got the bar stools and they started slamming it against the window so we could get out. That's how we were able to get out. They broke the window.
At least a dozen people were killed, including Sheriff's Deputy Ron Hellis, who was one of the first to respond.
Gave his all, and tonight, as I told his wife, he died a hero because he went in to save lives, to save other people.
This is a developing story. We are continuing to monitor the latest updates from investigators there in Thousand Oaks, California. You can find the most up-to-date information on our website at any time. Just go to mysuncoast.com. The FBI wants people to surrender surveillance video recorded near where a 13-year-old girl was kidnapped from a North Carolina mobile home park. Authorities circulating a photo of Hania Noelia Aguilar across several states on Tuesday. Family members say the 8th grader went outside Monday morning to start a relative's SUV to prepare to leave for the bus stop. Police say a man then forced her into a green Ford Expedition with a South Carolina license plate and drove off. The FBI says any video from that area could be helpful, even if it doesn't show the suspect vehicle. The FBI is offering a $15,000 reward. Now to Washington, where less than 24 hours after the midterm elections, President Trump fired Attorney General Jeff Sessions. ABC's Janae Norman tells us what that means now for the Justice Department and the Russia investigation.
He was one of President Trump's earliest supporters, but Attorney General Jeff Sessions also became one of the president's favorite targets.
He took the job, and then he said, I'm going to recuse myself. I said, what kind of a man is this?
President Trump was infuriated by Sessions recusing himself from the Russia probe, never forgiving him. Sessions making clear in his resignation letter it was not his decision, writing, Dear Mr. President, at your request, I'm submitting my resignation. Tearfully leaving the Department of Justice for the final time, shaking hands with the man replacing him, his now former Chief of Staff, Matt Whitaker. The president tweeting, Whitaker will serve the country well. Whitaker now in charge of the special counsel's investigation, though he's openly and publicly criticized the probe and proposed ways to end it.
So I could see a scenario where
Jeff Sessions is replaced with a recess appointment, and that Attorney General doesn't fire Bob Mueller, but he just reduces his budget so low that his investigation grinds to almost a halt.
Democrats now say Whitaker should follow in Sessions' steps and recuse himself.
It would create a constitutional crisis if this were a prelude to ending or greatly limiting the Mueller investigation.
But the president's advisors say there's no need.
Asking why would he be recused? Because CNN keeps playing a clip of what he said as a private citizen?
And today, Kellyanne Conway said the administration has continued to cooperate with the Russia investigation, adding, quote, nobody wants to prolong it. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Utility companies in Florida Panhandle now say all power has been restored in the counties devastated by Hurricane Michael, where it could be restored. The Public Service Commission says yesterday was the first time in nearly a month that utility companies reported zero outages. Hurricane Michael slammed into Florida's Panhandle on October 10th and also impacted the states of Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia. Nearly 400,000 people lost power in Florida after that storm. American Airlines volunteers are gathering to pack 5,000 boxes of food for Florida communities affected by the storm. Airline workers plan to gather today at one of the airline's O'Hare International Airport hangars in Chicago. That's where they plan to pack up 75,000 pounds of food. American Airlines teams have met at airports in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Miami to pack food with Feeding America and thousands of hygiene comfort kits with the American Red Cross. All will be very welcome in the Panhandle, I'm sure, by those affected by that hurricane.
Yeah, it's sad to look at radar right now and see more rain coming to that area. You know, you just don't want to see that. Right. For us here on the Suncoast, pretty nice day.
Yeah.
Can't complain. You know, got some sunshine out there, got some fair weather clouds. Holmes Beach Camp put into motion. Shows we got some people out there who are enjoying our Gulf waters. I saw a few swimming out there in the cam time lapse, and got some setting up their umbrellas and enjoying some sunshine. I will tell you that the Mote Marine spotters have been out and about this morning and making their assessments of beach conditions, and we do have a couple of places that are indicating some moderate amounts of red tide toxin in the air and some irritation being observed by the spotters that are out there. We have a general southeasterly wind now, so I imagine that the issues will not be helped as the winds turn west this afternoon as the sea breeze builds. But most everyone has a little bit of something in the air, with the exception of Venice Beach and down to the south near Gasparilla. But of course, those conditions change hour by hour, so they'll be updated again this afternoon. There are the showers moving across the Panhandle. Cape San Blas seeing the heaviest of the stuff. All of that not in any way impacting our weather. We remain high and dry today with warm temperatures coming in around 86 right now in Sarasota, 83 in Bradenton. And the sea breeze will form, keeping those temperatures about for the high for the day, keeping them at about the high for the day before they start to drop a little bit and we get a chance at a shower in inland areas later in the afternoon. Scott?
John, thank you. Red tide continues to show up sporadically on some Suncoast beaches. You saw John's map there. And that it can be horrible news for some struggling businesses. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us from Lido Beach.
So many businesses here on the Suncoast have been impacted by red tide, but as snowbirds head back to the Suncoast for the season, many companies are hopeful that business will pick back up, although red tide is still around. Although there is no smell out here on Lido Beach, this sign says it's still present. The FWC says higher concentrations of red tide are impacting different beaches up and down the Suncoast, but not as much as it was a few months ago. But now that snowbirds are returning for the season, some businesses are worried about how red tide will impact their sales. We spoke to the owner of Sarasota Paddleboarding Company on South Lido Beach. Bob McFarland says red tide hit his business pretty hard when the outbreak first started. But he says because red tide has been patchy over the past few months, business has been steady lately, and he is hopeful it will pick up even more as snowbirds arrive.
And we're looking forward to a good winter-spring season. I do check with some of the hotels too, so I mean, they're going to come, and the red tide is diminishing. And it's we can work with it at the stages that it is right now. When it did come to back up in August, we have a great summer season here. It hurt in August. Fortunately, September is not a busy month in town, so it hurt the restaurants, it hurt our business, it hurt the hotels, but it would be way worse, you know, if it was March, April, or July, or some of the really, really the best times. We're looking forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas, which are really, the holidays, which are a really big push for us.
McFarland says he now recommends all his customers to call him ahead of time for water conditions before paying for a paddle ride. We also spoke to a property rental company to see whether they've received any cancellations from snowbirds. They told me they've only received one. Reporting at Lido Key Beach, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. Sarasota County Schools celebrating Veterans Day over the next several days. Bay Haven School of Basics Plus, the first program to pay tribute to our nation's heroes today. Students put on musical performances, and a Vietnam War veteran talked to the kids about the importance of Veterans Day. He told us what he wanted the kids to take away from today's event.
I want to talk to them about the flag, respecting the flag, and respecting the veterans. These kids are smart. They may be small, but they're smart. They understand what's going on.
There are 4 more events going on tomorrow at Tatum Ridge, Garden, Englewood, and Lamarck Elementary Schools. And then on Monday, Pine View and Gosio Elementary Schools will show their appreciation for our veterans. These are just a few of the many events happening this weekend. Happening now in Manatee County, you can help feed the hungry and enjoy a hot meal of your own at the same time. The first of 2 Empty Bowls luncheons hosted by the Food Bank in Manatee, taking place today until 1 o'clock at the Renaissance on 9th in downtown Bradenton. If you didn't make it out there today, you can still go tomorrow to Main Street in Lakewood Ranch. That event starts at 11 a.m. and ticket prices start at $30. Still to come in your Suncoast News, with mortgage rates at the highest level since 2011, we'll show you 3 tips to help you find the lowest possible mortgage rate.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling mid-size car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KBB.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CR-V, the 8-passenger Pilot, or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less today at your local Honda dealer.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So look at a warm temperature out there, 86-degree air temperature with plenty of sunshine as well. So it's a nice afternoon. I don't think we'll have any complaints about that. A dew point value, which is pretty comfortable at 69 degrees, and we have a humidity coming in at 57%. Today's planner shows that we have a 84-degree air temperature by 3 p.m. And then as we head into the afternoon, we'll watch those temperatures kind of continue to fall as we head into the evening. The west wind continuing to push inland with about a 10% chance of showers as that west wind does indeed move inland. We're not looking at anything in the way of rainfall locally here yet, but I think if we do see any, it will be east of the interstate today as that sea breeze kind of collides with a general easterly wind across the state, or southeasterly wind. We have that area of disturbed weather associated with the frontal boundary that remains stalled across Florida, the northern tier. And it's been kind of a focal point for day after day of showers and even some thunderstorms. And unfortunately, it's right over the area that saw a lot of damage from a hurricane. So we kind of wish that would go away. And I think starting probably on Sunday or Saturday even, it will. We'll start to return to some sunshine as some colder air back to the north of us dives south in the form of a cold front, producing some snow showers now in Wichita. Got winter storm advisories and freeze warnings up for that area today as the colder air really starts to pour south. As the front begins to sink south, we have a thunderstorm outlook that includes a marginal risk for severe weather in parts of Texas. Most of the southeastern parts of the United States look pretty good, and tomorrow just a thunderstorm risk. And then Saturday, as that front sinks southward into our area, I think drier air will have moved in and will kind of remove any chance of severe weather. So this next front coming through has none of the weather associated with it that the last front that we saw did. The front itself, stalled out now, will be forced to move southward as an approaching cold front combines with it, and the two of them together are pushed further down to the south. So today, we get this kind of sun-cloud mix. We get an isolated shower in inland areas, and we look for a cooler Saturday, slightly cooler Saturday. This is not going to be a big cold front, but it will help to lower our temperatures a few degrees, and it will also help to drop the dew point values a few degrees, which will improve the conditions and make it feel a little bit more refreshing out there this weekend. With the drier air moving in, will also, as I said, make the afternoons feel a little bit better. This is the water vapor imagery, shows you where the moisture is and is not in the atmosphere, and clearly there's a lot of drier air back to the west, and that isn't advancing in this direction, and I think it will start to kind of eliminate the rain shower chances as we head into the weekend. Got some high level clouds drifting by from time to time. Got some lower level clouds locally growing as we develop that westerly wind today. And the tropics, as I mentioned, look very tame right now. So there's no issues there with any kind of tropical development over the next 5. Southwest wind at 5 knots, becoming more northwesterly during the evening, and then turning back to the east at 10 knots during the overnight. Smooth conditions on bay and inland waters with just 2-foot seas. Beautiful day to be out there on the water today. Forecast looks pretty good for us, I think. We have a couple of tides, a 1:37 high tide followed by a low tide at 6:32 this evening. And beautiful, beautiful conditions for several days in a row with only minimal chances of showers. As we head into Sunday, Veterans Day, it looks like perfect weather. On Monday, we'll start to work in a chance of showers. Tuesday, the best rain chance day as the colder cold front comes through, giving us a high of 70 on Wednesday. Scott?
John, thank you so much. In consumer news today, the economy is improving and the Federal Reserve has been hiking up interest rates. That means the days of super cheap mortgages are over, but there are still ways to get the lowest possible rate. Here's 3 tips to help you get a great deal.
It's getting more and more expensive to borrow money for a home. According to Bankrate.com, the average APR on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage recently topped 5%. That's the highest in 7 years. Still, experts say mortgages are relatively cheap by historic standards.
When it comes to the decision of buying a house, you shouldn't let interest rates make a decision that big for you.
Both real estate investors and home loan officers say, don't let the rising numbers scare you.
It's more of a psychological impact to people than it is an actual impact on their finances.
So how do you find the lowest price loan possible? Experts say follow these 3 tips. Number 1, find an experienced mortgage broker.
A mortgage broker's job is to shop your loan to every lender they can find and find the one with the most competitive rate and the lowest closing costs.
Second tip, look at low-profile lenders like community banks or credit unions.
It's important to talk with someone that can help you through the different options to make sure you get the best program that really fits your needs.
And the third tip, shop around for lenders. Don't stop after the first lender and look at estimates online to find the best deal for you.
Now, if you've already decided to buy a house, you shouldn't waste time because interest rates are going to be going up.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
AT&T is ready to crack down on people who just won't stop illegally sharing movies, TV shows, and music. The company says it has warned several people about copyright violations, and now it's told the news site Axios that about a dozen people will have their accounts canceled next week. There's a new flight launching out of Tampa, but it's not your typical commercial service. Starting today, Southern Airways Express is launching a new flight to and from West Palm Beach. The 9-seat Cessna Caravan will try to give passengers a more private plane type of experience. Passengers will be able to bypass the terminal check-in process and TSA. The first flight from West Palm Beach arrived a short time ago, and the 1 hour and 20-minute flight will run up to 3 times a day. Entertainment news is next.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now. ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Coming up later today on ABC 7 News at 4, we're continuing to monitor the latest updates out of Southern California, where a gunman opened fire inside a packed bar on college night. 13 people are dead, including the gunman. Authorities say dozens more are injured.
Currently, we have a number of 18 who have transported themselves to local area hospitals, and then in addition to that, 2 who were transported by ambulance. So we're still trying to confirm that those that everybody is accounted for, and that number may change slightly.
We'll have the latest information on those victims as soon as we learn more from authorities, and we hope to see you later today on ABC 7 News at 4. In entertainment news, lots of movie news today, from an introduction to a new villain to the return of a classic. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Mayday, terrorists have seized a
Nakatomi Plaza.
This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
Yippee-ki-yay! The original Die Hard, the action movie considered by some the best Christmas movie ever, is blasting back onto the big screen to mark its 30th anniversary. Bruce Willis and Company will play in more than 700 U.S. theaters on Sunday, November 11th and Wednesday, November 14th.
Come to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
I bring her a dead bird, she throws it out. I bring her a dead mouse, right in the garbage. There's nothing I do good enough for you, mother!
Cats and dogs wait to see a veterinarian, or is he a shrink, in the first trailer for The Secret Life of Pets 2, opening next June. The 2016 original debuted with more than $100 million and wound up making $875 million worldwide. A second-generation villain steps into the spotlight. MGM has unveiled this introduction of Florian Munteanu, who co-stars in Creed 2 as Victor Drago, son of infamous Rocky foe Ivan Drago. He's a 6'4" boxer, actor, and model nicknamed Big Nasty, perfect for squaring off with Michael B. Jordan's Adonis Creed. The bell rings for Creed 2, November 21st. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Some eager Justin Timberlake fans might just cry me a river over this news. The singer has postponed 2 more shows in Tacoma, Washington over bruised vocal cords. The postponement started last Wednesday with a show at New York City's Madison Square Garden. He announced it was on doctor's order, saying his vocal cords are, quote, severely bruised. A show in Buffalo, New York was also moved, and his next concert on the schedule, Portland, Oregon, next week. We'll see if they'll have to postpone that one as well, or if the show will go on. You don't want to mess around with your voice. If the doctor says, take it easy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he makes a career out of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's his instrument.
You never really kind of think that you can bruise a vocal cord, right? I mean, it's a little flap of skin. But
overuse, I guess.
Overuse, I guess, or used the wrong way or something.
Yeah.
It's a whole specialty. So we're looking at some pretty quiet conditions over the next several days. Any showers will be isolated at most, and they'll be in well inland areas. We'll watch for a beautiful day on Sunday to celebrate our veterans, and then, well, we actually celebrate them on Monday, I guess, but Veterans Day is Sunday. And then we'll watch for that cold front.
Okay, John, thank you. Have a good day.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
I'm a Florida voter. I want to make sure my voice is heard.
Here in Florida,
we have 3 ways to vote.
Vote by mail.
Early voting.
And voting at the polls on Election Day.
Make sure your voice is heard.
I'm Secretary of State Ken Detzner. Get ready, get set, vote.
Shop online anytime at VeniceToyota.com on US 41 South.